After nearly 2 decades under the same roof, the once inseparable Sarah Ferguson and Prince Andrew appear to have finally reached breaking point. Reports from Windsor suggest that Fergie, who has long defended and supported her ex-husband through years of scandal and public disgrace, has now had enough. She is said to be preparing to leave Andrew behind as the former couple face eviction from their 30-room Royal Lodge mansion. For almost 20 years, they have shared the sprawling estate on the Windsor grounds, famously describing themselves as the world's happiest divorced couple. They dined together, traveled together, even spent Christmases together, all while maintaining that their bond was one of friendship and loyalty, not romance. But now, the arrangement that once baffled the public is reportedly over. According to Palace insiders, Andrew and Fergie are close to making a final decision on whether they will vacate Royal Lodge, but in a move that has sparked new outrage. And look, I've got to say, the King and Queen may be in Rome, but they just can't escape the ongoing scandal surrounding Prince Andrew, can they? You've written in the Mirror today what a stain it has been to have led up to this visit to the Holy See and an historic meeting with the Pope, to face more scandal concerning his disgraced brother, Prince Andrew. The disgraced prince has allegedly demanded 2 separate royal residences so that they can live apart, yet remain within the safety and privilege of the royal estate. Andrew, 65, is said to have his eyes on Frogmore Cottage, the 5-bedroom home once occupied by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, while Fergie is said to be seeking Adelaide Cottage, just a short walk away. Royal sources have been quick to point out the absurdity of the demand. Commentators have called it a fantasy, adding that King Charles is highly unlikely to grant them both separate homes on Crown Estate property. As royal expert Richard Fitzwilliams put it, if they think having 2 homes will solve things, they're still living in a fantasy world. This latest development comes amid immense pressure from both the palace and the public. I think there is more they can do, because of course this process started under Queen Elizabeth. As we know, when she eventually, reluctantly, but she did so, stripped Andrew of his HRH status and his public duties, and effectively he was a pariah publicly anyway, it would have been impossible for him to conduct royal duties on behalf of the family. For Andrew and Sarah to finally leave Royal Lodge, a property that has become a symbol of royal entitlement and controversy. It was recently revealed that Andrew hasn't paid proper rent on the mansion in over 20 years. Despite signing a lease in 2003 and spending £7.5 million on renovations, he has paid only a so-called peppercorn rent, essentially a token payment, if demanded. The revelation outraged taxpayers, especially as Andrew has not undertaken royal duties since 2019 and continues to live a lavish lifestyle despite being stripped of his titles, honors, and public funding. Andrew has insisted he has a cast-iron lease that still has over 50 years left on it, but even he now seems to recognize that the writing is on the wall. Prince Andrew and ex-wife Fergie could soon be moving out of their 30-bedroom mansion, reportedly agreeing to pack up Royal Lodge on one condition. And this is the sticking point. They're giving up 1 and demanding 2 in return, according to some reports. I'm not sure that, according to one friend, he knows his time at Royal Lodge is up. Behind closed doors, there are reports of mounting tension between the former couple. Fergie is said to have grown weary of the constant scandals that have surrounded Andrew, especially following the latest email scandal linked to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. While details remain private, the exposure of Andrew's correspondence, in which he appeared to express sympathy for Epstein even after his conviction, has further damaged both their reputations. It also reignited scrutiny of Sarah Ferguson's own ties to Epstein after it emerged she had once described him as her supreme friend. In recent weeks, several charities and corporate partners have quietly cut ties with Fergie, distancing themselves from the ongoing controversy. How do you solve a problem like Prince Andrew? Another scandal's dropped, and this one could finish him again. A leaked email shows Andrew reassuring convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, saying, "We're in this together," just a day after the infamous photo of him with 17-year-old Virginia Giuffre hit the papers. A royal insider, quoted by the Mail, called it the final humiliation. For years, Fergie has made remarkable comebacks, from her weight loss endorsements to her books, her charity work, and her social media rebranding. But now, observers say there is no coming back. The door to royal life and the goodwill that once shielded her appears firmly closed. As one royal commentator bluntly stated, "There's no comeback now. She's in disgrace." Still, the question remains, what happens next? If the couple do move out, the Crown Estate may place Royal Lodge on the market or possibly renovate it for a new royal tenant. The property, which would fetch around £30 million if sold privately, has been a defining part of the York's identity. Is it right to say the public purse is missing money from the rent he's allegedly not paid? Well, I don't have the details of that, and I haven't seen and had a chance to go through that information. The place where they raised their daughters, hosted parties, and maintained the illusion of unity. But it has also been a source of immense controversy, representing the perks of privilege enjoyed by two people long removed from public service. For Fergie, leaving Royal Lodge may be both an ending and a beginning. Friends have hinted that she feels she deserves a residence of her own, having lived under Andrew's shadow for far too long. Yet others argue that her demands, particularly for a Crown Estate property, are greedy and out of touch. As one royal expert said, "It's not up to the king to house Ms. Ferguson. She has no right to a Crown Estate home." Indeed, the move comes at a sensitive time. Andrew recently relinquished his remaining royal titles, including his dukedom, his position in the Order of the Garter, and his honor as Knight Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order. Virginia Giuffre's powerful posthumous memoir. I have read this book, and here are some of the things that I have taken away from it. It contains absolutely harrowing accounts of the sex abuse and cruelty Virginia says she suffered at the hands of Epstein and Maxwell. While he remains a prince by birth, his formal status within the family has now all but vanished. Sarah Ferguson, too, is no longer the Duchess of York. Her name, once synonymous with royal glamour, has been reduced to plain Sarah Ferguson, a painful demotion for someone who has long traded on her royal association. The shift marks the end of a chapter, not just for the pair, but for the House of York itself. The once united family, Andrew, Fergie, and their daughters Beatrice and Eugenie, now faces public scrutiny, financial uncertainty, and deep personal strain. Beatrice and Eugenie, who once defended their parents fiercely, are said to have been blindsided by the turn of events. One royal source described the atmosphere at Royal Lodge as tense and joyless. "The pressure is enormous," one insider said. "They hardly know what they're doing or thinking. It's extraordinary." The move also presents logistical challenges. Both Frogmore Cottage and Adelaide Cottage are smaller, far less grand, and nowhere near the 30-room scale of Royal Lodge. It's a significant downgrade, and a public one. But perhaps that's exactly the point. For years, the Yorks have been seen as symbols of excess and denial, unwilling to accept their diminished place within the monarchy. This move, forced or voluntary, might finally bring an end to that chapter. Yet, as one commentator warned, if they think 2 new homes will fix their image, they're delusional. The problem isn't the property, it's perception. Still, there's a sense of finality in the air. Friends close to Fergie say she has grown tired of the endless cycle of scandal and survival and is ready to move on, even if it means leaving behind the man who stood by her. And for Andrew, who has spent years clinging to the last remnants of royal privilege, the prospect of solitude at Frogmore Cottage could be the most humbling reality of all. Whether this is truly a fresh start for both of them, or simply the next chapter in a long story of denial, remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: after decades of standing by each other through scandal, debt, disgrace, and delusion, the fairy tale facade of the world's happiest divorced couple has finally fallen apart. Do you think this is the end of Sarah Ferguson and Prince Andrew's bond? Or will history repeat itself once more? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on the royal world's most complicated couple.